Some days it's just a freaking struggle to get out of bed. It's like there's nothing that makes you want to get up. No matter what you tell yourself, no matter how much things that you might have planned for the day, they don't excite you. And all you just want to do is stay in bed, fall asleep again, and drift into that other world again where all the problems of this reality are just non existent. But this video is really for the part of you that is refusing to give up. That part of you, that voice within you that says, no matter what, I'm gonna keep going. And if you feel like this, if you have more rough and difficult days than joyful days, then stick with this video, because in this video, I'm going to share with you a couple things that have really helped me multiple times in my life, and especially over the past few months after a breakup that I've been through. And also, I'm going to share some affirmations with you that are slightly different than the usual affirmations that you hear people say and refer to on a lot of videos and out there in the self-development world, kind of. So stick with me, and I'm sure this is going to help you to navigate through those more rough and negative and or negatively energetic days. All right, but before I get into that, for everybody who is new here, my name is Martin and welcome to this video. I appreciate you tuning in. I made it my purpose to share with you here authentically and unapologetically without holding back. I'm going to share with you my ups and downs of life, because I feel like we all go through so much shit in our lives, so many challenges that we're going through, and I want you to feel like you are not alone, because I've been there in my life before where I felt alone, and not because nobody was around me, but because I wasn't able to share with people what is really going on. So I put on a fake smile or just didn't talk about it. And I want you to know that you're not alone, that there are people out there who are also experiencing ups and downs. And I want to encourage you to keep going, to really find and connect to that part of yours that has that strength to navigate through the difficult times and is able to find the joy in life once more. If you have not subscribed, somewhere here is the button to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Every single subscription matters, because I really want to share my messages with a lot of people, and the more people subscribe, the more you share my channel as well with people you think might benefit from what I'm sharing, the bigger of an influence we have, and the more lives that we can touch and potentially also save. All right. So, and of course, everybody who has already subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really means the world to me. All right, let's dive into it. So, I've been there so many times where I just felt like, what the hell? Like, I woke up in the morning and I just did not feel like getting out of bed. Now, there's a thing that like barely anyone talks about it, and that is we have a choice. We always have a freaking choice. We can decide to stay in bed, or we can decide to get up. Now, there's nothing wrong with staying in bed. There's nothing wrong with getting up. The thing is, it's all connected to the why and the bigger picture, kind of. So for me, there's in the last few months after the breakup I've been through, there were multiple days, countless days, more days than not days, where I felt like I just don't want to get up. I just want to keep sleeping because reality hurts just too freaking much. And I'm even getting emotional thinking about it, because it's just been such a hard time. And there were days where I just really didn't feel like it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what for? However, I made a promise to myself, but also gave my word to the people that I work with that I'm showing up, that I'm there for them, that I support them on their journey. And I feel like I have an obligation as well to show up, not with a fake smile, not with pretending to feel different than how I felt, but 100% authentically as me and with everything that's been going on. And that is far, far, far from what people tend to do as a coach. There's so many times and like different conversations I had and heard, and where people are just like, you have to have the professional boundary. Don't share what's going on in your life. For a while, I did that. But in the beginning of the year, it was like, I can't. I can't show up in my coaching sessions pretending everything is okay when I feel my heart and my soul was shattered. So what I did is I shared. I told them what I'm going through and that I'm also struggling in my life right now. The thing is, this made the connection that I had with the people that I work with even stronger. Because now they saw that also I was going through a very difficult and hard time of my life, but that I didn't give up, that I'm still going, that I'm still willing to show up. And that's what I mean with choice. You have the choice to show up in life. You have a choice to do the things that you set out to do. But there are times where it's just important to stay in bed. To say, I'm not going to get up today. I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to pull the blanket a little bit tighter and I'm just going to stay here and do nothing today. The thing is, I know that it's not always easy. For a lot of people, that's just not possible because of the obligations. Maybe you have a kid. Maybe you have a job where you cannot just take a day off. Maybe you live in a country where sick days don't exist. So if you're not feeling well, then you still have to push through. I've been there. I've been there in my life, especially when I was living in the US, but also here in Europe, where there were days where I felt sick, but I was like, I can't. I have to get up, and because otherwise I can't pay my bills. And fortunately, through the work I'm doing now and being my own boss, I am my own boss in my life. And if I don't feel well, I can decide if I want to work or if I don't. Because if I don't work, I have to kind of do it on another day. So it's not that the work goes away, but it's like it's postponed to another day, rescheduled. So of course, there's different times in life where it might be a little bit easier and times where it's a little bit more challenging. But the thing is, it's really, really, really important to start listening to yourself, to listen to who you are, what's going on within you. Don't let other people dictate what you should do in specific situations. They can only go from what they know. They can only go from their own experiences, from what they think they would do if they were in your shoes. But guess what? They are not in your shoes and they never will be. They never have. They don't know what it feels to be you. I mean, very often we don't even know how it feels to be ourselves either. So how the hell could someone else know? And they make decisions based on what they think that they would do, even though they have no clue what's going on within you. So it's important to, of course, be open to what other people have to say. I mean, hello, I'm here, I'm sharing with the hope that people do listen to what I say and implement things that I say to transform their lives. But I'm not saying it because I know better or because I'm better than other people. No, definitely not. Like, the way I'm sharing here, and the reason why I'm sharing here is because I'm like, I just have so much in me that I want to share and say. I want to just connect with people, and like it fills me with passion when I see other people thrive. And I feel like the only or the most effective way is not to, and for me, the only way to do so is not to pretend I'm better or that I have it all figured out, but exactly the opposite. Where I'm like, I don't have shit figured out. Like, I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I have no clue how I'm going to feel tomorrow. If tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to be like, nope, not today. Or if tomorrow I wake up and I'm like, wow, I'm feeling great. Let's do it. I have no freaking clue. And nor do you. I should insert more rhymes in my videos. And as you can see, the audio works, the lights work today. Everything is like different for this video today. Because if you watched my video from yesterday, everything went wrong, and still somehow I was able to just go with the flow, enjoy it, have fun, and make something out of it. And that's really what it all comes down to when you have difficult situations, when you feel like it's not your day, it's like, hell no. It all comes down to what you make of it. What is your attitudes toward it, towards life, towards yourself? Are you giving in to the negative voices? Are you talking negatively to yourself? Or are you telling yourself, hey, you can feel like shit, but that's okay because that's part of life? I mean, if we look at all the people, like all those, the people around us, but also like the most successful people, what we consider maybe successful in whatever area of life you might look for those people, they all struggle at one point or another. Not one point, but multiple points in their lives. From the outside, very often it looks like they have it all together. They have an amazing life. But that's what we see from the outside, but not what's maybe going on inside of them. And instead of comparing ourselves to the facade or the mask that other people put on, not even like from a negative point of view, but sometimes you just put a mask on because you're like, not everybody has the right to see what's going on with you. Not everybody has the right to know what is happening in your life. So it's totally fine that you don't share with every single person, but with those people who deserve it, who have the right to know. But if you compare yourself with other people and the external facade they put on, with how you feel internally, it will always backfire. You will never find happiness comparing how you feel with the external reality of another person. And we cannot compare what's going on within us to something that goes on within someone else, because we do not know what they feel, think, what's in their vibration. Partially we can, yes, but not 100%. So instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to you. If you have to, like, you don't have to compare yourself, but if you have to compare yourself, then compare yourself to yourself. Say, okay, how did I show up the last time when I felt this way? If you showed up in a more easygoing way where you're like, okay, I'm going to do it slightly different, then go ahead and look what you can learn from your past self. If you showed up like in a way where you just disappeared for weeks and just talked yourself into a more negative state, then ask yourself, what can you do differently this time? Because that's the kind of comparison that can help you propel forward and upward compared to downward. But the most effective, the most important thing that you can do is to learn to accept that whatever is going on right now, that it's going on. Not condoning it, but not rejecting it. Just accept it. Accept it. Tune within yourself and tell yourself, it is the way it is. It's not different. Even if I want to, it's not. From here on forward, I can do certain things and show up differently so that things will be different, but right now they're not. And that's acceptance. It's not to say like, oh, it's okay the way it is. It's great the way it is. No, that's condoning it. You don't have to condone it. You can say, this is shit. I hate it. I don't like it. But it is the way it is. But now moving forward, I'm going to make sure to change things around. And one way to do that is through affirmations. There's a certain way of affirmations that I feel like it doesn't work. It's like making a statement that is far from what you feel is true. So when you say, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I can do anything I want to, but in your reality, you see that's not happening. This is not what's going on. This is not how you feel. This is not how you feel about yourself. Then it will most likely backfire because more negative thoughts come in. So what I like to do is to have a slightly different version of affirmations. And I'm going to share a couple with you. I'm just going to let myself be guided to come up with some affirmations the way that I like to do them on a regular basis. And I do them throughout the day, sometimes without even focusing on it, without even realizing I'm doing it. And the way I talk to myself. For example, one thing that I've told myself over and over again, an affirmation is like to affirm a new belief, to affirm something new that is different than the beliefs that you've had so far. So affirming something that you want to become reality. And one affirmation that I've done frequently, especially when I was overthinking about my relationship, when I was overthinking about my ex, and was just sad and kind of like went into slight depression and all that, where I was just overwhelmed with the thoughts and the feelings. And I was just telling myself, if you want to change your life, if you want to find a partner, then you have two options. You can either stay with the vibration you're in, then you will either attract a similar partner in that vibration, or you can focus on yourself and find the joy of life again, connect and reconnect with yourself, and then have the chance to meet someone on that new frequency. That in itself is an affirmation, because I'm affirming not like a specific result that I'm going to have, saying like, oh, I'm in a perfect relationship, because I'm not. But I'm affirming of what I want. I'm also affirming of what it is right now. And in that moment, I accept it. I practice acceptance. A lot of people say, when you say, oh, I don't like my reality the way it is, I want it to be different, then you're affirming the reality and you're putting yourself into a vibration of like nothing is going to change. I don't believe that. Honestly, I don't, because I've seen it in my own life. I've practiced this kind of affirmations for a while, and it really gives me more peace. I can do it with more ease, and it helps me with acceptance, because then I accept the reality. I'm saying like, this is the way it is right now. If I want to or not, my ex is not here. But what I can do is now move forward, focusing on my own happiness, focusing on the relationship with and to myself, and then let life happen and let the law of attraction happen and trust the universe that the right partner is going to come into my life. That is empowering. Instead of like, oh, I'm in a perfect relationship. No, I'm not. I'm in a perfect relationship. No, I'm not. I have the perfect partner. No, I don't. Like, it wouldn't work. It never worked for me. But when I say I don't have the partner that I want right now, that is acceptance. But now I am focusing on myself, creating that relationship that I want to have. But I start with myself. And then I trust that the right partner on the external reality comes to me. You can do that with money, where you say, bills don't pay themselves and there's not enough money in the bank. But this is the way it is right now. But I'm going to do everything in my power, everything that I can, that step by step moving forward, I'm going to learn how to have a different relationship with money, how to attract additional money into my life. And I trust that everything is going to work out. Then you're not rejecting the way it is right now. Because rejection, everything that we resist persists. But if you say, okay, this is reality, but I have the power to now look, how can I build a different relationship with money moving forward? And I've had that multiple times, especially over the past couple of years, where often I struggled with money. I was overthinking it. I was worried about it. And then an additional bill came in that I didn't know about. And the times where I was like, you know what? Just go with the flow. I trust money is going to come in. The way it is right now, it is the way it is right now. I cannot change anything this very moment, but I can change how I move forward and the way I look at things, the way I'm detaching from the struggle, from the specific outcome. And then usually money came in from unexpected sources. So it was very, very weird. Or I got more clients all of a sudden. So it's like there's so many things that changed when I started those kind of affirmations. So I would recommend that you also find affirmations that work for you. Maybe use what I just shared like as a guideline. First state the reality that you might not want, and then say, but from this moment forward, and then insert what you're going to do and how you're going to show up. And I truly believe this is going to change so many things in your life, because this way you practice acceptance, you give yourself permission to feel the way that you feel, but you're also making a commitment that moving forward, you're going to take charge and you're going to take back the power that you thought you have lost. So I really hope that you implement those affirmations. Another thing that I really love doing is spend time in nature. I love going for walks. I've shared it in many videos. I go for many walks, and very often like a couple hours a day. And like today I went for a walk, and then I thought about like going for a little short walk, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna extend my route. And I kept walking, and I was just like, I didn't have my phone with me. I was just there with myself. And it was very interesting because I was going slightly different than what I thought I would. And then I saw a lady coming towards me on her bike, and I was just like, oh, it's like, oh, she reminds me of a friend of mine. And then I just heard like a voice, and I was like, okay, turn around. And then there was actually someone I've met a couple of years ago, and I haven't seen her in so long. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so strange. Like I decided to go slightly different. Like I was just let my intuition guide me, and then I reconnected with someone that I've not been in touch with for a couple of years, and it was just an amazing opportunity that the universe offered. So there's so many things that can happen when you let your intuition also come forward, and you're just going with the flow and not rejecting anything. On that walk, I had many, many, many thoughts and emotions, and I was just like, okay, whatever wants to come out, whatever thoughts want to be heard, they can be there. I'm not going to reject them. I'm not going to ignore them. I'm not going to push them away, but I'm also not going to identify with them. I'm not going to go into it and be like, okay, now think more about it. Think more about it. But I'm like, okay, whatever thought wants to come up, it's okay. I'm not going to distract myself from those thoughts. Not in a way of trying to suppress them. But then I was just open enough to say, if something else catches my attention, I'm going to look at that. There's a few things that caught my attention. And I really, like, one of them was the sun that suddenly came out. I didn't expect the sun to come out today, and suddenly it came out. I was like, okay, that actually made me want to continue my walk. And that's the thing, when we are telling ourselves and giving ourselves the permission to say, hey, I'm going to let whatever wants to come up, I'm going to let it be present. I'm just going to let it out. I'm not going to push it down or suppress it. Very often, the heaviness of it disappears, because very often the real heaviness that we feel is more the resistance to what we want to push away than the thing itself. It's like, very often, of course, not all situations like grief, loss, like those are not, that I'm not talking about those things, or abuse, but a lot of things in our lives, it's really our resistance to it that makes it heavier than it is. So, I mean, you can try it. Like, if you hold up like a glass of water, and like, you could just put it down. But if you resist putting it down and just say like, no, I have to hold it, I don't want to hold it. I don't, like, the more you focus on it and the more you get into that whole conversation, the heavier it becomes, and it's just going to feel like your arm is going to fall off. If you just let it go, well, not dropping it, but put it down, then you can just, it's still there, but you're not focusing on it. You're not grabbing it. You're not holding it tight. You're letting it be there, and you don't give it all of your attention. But if it grabs your attention, it's there. It's okay. The same with our thoughts. We don't have to keep holding on to them. The more we hold on to them, the stronger they become. The more we resist them. It's like you resist them, but at the same time, you're holding on to them. Because if you're focusing on it and say like, oh, I want you to go away. It's like you're focusing on it. It cannot go away if you focus on it. But if you say, okay, whatever, then they have the permission to also leave if they don't want to stay. So don't identify yourself with your thoughts or emotions. And identifying, all it means is that you are, when a thought comes up, that you're like, jumping on it and create more thoughts actively around that topic or around that person or around that struggle, whatever it is that you might be going through. So those two things I can highly recommend. They have really, really, really helped me over the past couple months. And third one, I've shared it a few times already, meditation. Meditation in the morning, meditation during the day, in the evening, whenever and however often you want to and can do meditation. You can also do a walking meditation. I did it today during my walk. I did a specific meditation, the frame technique that I've mentioned as well. I've focused on that, and I've done it while I was walking, and I was able to breathe way deeper than before. So those three things, affirmations in the slightly different way that I've shared, then spend time in nature, go for walks, go for a run, go for a bike ride, whatever, or just lie in the sun, whatever way of being in the nature means for you. And third one is meditation. If you implement those things on a regular basis, I promise you, your life will change. It has for me. It has for many, many people that I've worked with. And I've seen it with people that I've not worked with, but who taught it to me and who I follow, who I get my inspirations from as well. It's been around humankind for thousands of years. So I guess there's something to it. I know there's something to it. Like I said, I've done it multiple times in my life and recently as well through the breakup. It's been a spiritual lifesaver because I don't think without that specific meditation, without spending time in nature and without talking to myself kindly while still telling myself it's okay the way I feel, accepting that this is a shitty and horrendous and heartbreaking situation, but it is what it is. And the only thing I can do is focus on myself and my healing and moving not forward in the typical sense, but moving more into the person I want to become. The more I focus on that, the easier it becomes. And I've just seen like a huge shift from the beginning of the year where I could barely, like there was barely a day where I didn't wake up crying, where I went to sleep crying, and it was like during the day I was crying, and I was just like, it was so hard. And I'm getting emotional now because I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for that person, that version of myself in the beginning of the year, and what that version of me had to deal with, and still decided to show up, not just for himself, but for other people. And this is what I also want to share with you and encourage you to do. Show up for yourself first, because when your cup is empty, you cannot refill it and keep refilling it if you just continue to just give to others without giving to yourself first. But also give to others because this helps you in many situations to be inspired, to connect, to find the joy of life again and the meaning of life as well. We're not meant to go through life alone. That's why I'm here. That's why I share with you, because I truly believe that we are meant to go through life together, that we are on this journey as a community. So that's why I'm sharing here the way I do, openly and just the way it is. And sometimes I catch myself like saying something and I'm like, wait, that's not 100% true. That's not like that's how I want it to be, but that's not how it is. So I do have like my ups and downs in life as well, and my own beliefs that sometimes when I create those videos, I catch myself like that I have beliefs that are limiting or that are not true, and then I share them as well. So if you like this video, I would really want to ask you that you share it also with other people who you think can benefit from this message, because like I said, this is a community, and the more we share, the more we get into conversation, the more we can help each other heal and grow and expand. And yeah, that's what life is about. So share in the comments something that you also utilize when it comes to waking up not feeling like you want to start the day even, or when you just feel like you're lacking energy or any kind of positive energy, when you just feel like this is too much, you're overwhelmed. What works for you? I would love to hear from you. I would appreciate hearing from you, and it can always help other people as well when they see those comments of people who are going through similar situations. So let's connect and share the love. All right. If you like it, then please also like the video, comment, share, and subscribe. All right. As always, lots of love and a big hug. See you in the next one.